we are going to blow a check, okay, and get it right back. Hey guys, today is another LunaBudoona special. Welcome back to my channel if you are not new, but if you are new, welcome. Go ahead and subscribe, go ahead and like this video, and if you haven't seen this video, go ahead and check it out. You may like it. So today we're going to be talking about Apple. Not necessarily Apple, but Apple products. A very specific Apple product that a lot of people may know and love already. They just came out with a new version of it this year in 2020. This is what I managed to pick up. I picked up the new 2020 Macbook Air in gold. So this is my new baby. I have not named her yet. Leave a comment down below. Do you guys name your computers? Because I definitely named my computers. So let's talk about how much this cost. So on the Apple website, I'm not sure how much it is. I will put it right here, how much it is on the Apple website. I actually got it at a discount, $120 off at my local Micro Center. If you guys have a Micro Center in your area, I highly recommend going to Micro Center. Even if you've never been, just check it out because you can literally build an entire computer by buying parts from Micro Center. So Micro Center is basically like a Best Buy, except better than Best Buy. I remember I used to go all the time with my dad. It used to be kind of like a bonding thing. We could just go to Micro Center and just look around, and I would eventually kind of end up getting something, usually maybe like a new game or like a new piece of hardware. So Micro Center is very near and dear to my heart. I love it. And of course, it's actually where I took my PC when I was having issues with it when I was first building it. And they have a repair center. They can basically repair anything. And of course, if they can't fix it, then they can just replace it because they have it in their store. So that's where I took my PC when I was having issues with it. And now it runs like a wonderful charm. And so that's also where I got my new MacBook. So let's see, I'm just gonna be giving my first impressions on the MacBook, why I got it, and how I like it actually. So and when you open it up, this is what it looks like on the inside. This year they have added I can't remember what they're called, but instead of having force touch type keys, they have actual keys that actually press down when you press them. And so it makes it for a better typing experience, and especially for a student, that's really important because you're going to be typing a lot. Study guides, you're going to be taking your tests on these computers. That's why they actually wanted us to get MacBooks, because at UGA, where I'm going for vet school, if you haven't already seen this video here, 10 tips on how to get into vet school, go ahead and check it out. But at UGA, where I'm going for vet school, it is required that you have a MacBook. Kind of elitist, not gonna lie, but they say that you take your tests on the MacBook, and the MacBook is the only operating system that can run the program to take their tests on, which I think is kind of weird, but it's been that way for a number of years now. And this year it hasn't changed. So it gave me a great excuse to get my baby. So my initial first impressions on this is that I love the color. Pink is growing on me. I have always loved Apple products take on gold and rose gold for their products. So I was really excited that the MacBook Air came in this color because it's just a beautiful thing on the outside. So right here you have the Apple logo. I'm not even sure if they do the light up logos anymore on any of their stuff. I'll have to look into that. But this logo does not light up, which is fine. It's just a little reflective thing. So when you open it up, I'll talk about what's on the outside. It has two of these ports here. I think they're USB-C, or they're called Thunderbolt. So two of those ports, a headphone jack, and that's it. So you are definitely going to have to get an adapter, especially for using USBs, because obviously there's no USB port on this, because they wanted to keep it really thin, really light, and honestly they probably wanted you to buy their adapter. So they want you to spend more money. If I do eventually start editing on here, which I heard that it can actually run Premiere Pro pretty well, so I'm not worried about it not handling anything that I would ever want to do. I just figured that if you're running Premiere Pro, that's probably the only thing that you can run, because it only has an i3 processor, and really the RAM is the issue. It only has 8 gigs of RAM, which is, more than enough for, typing documents, browsing the web, looking up stuff, obviously taking the test that they want us to take on here. It's more than enough, 8 gigs of RAM. But if you want to run like multiple heavy applications, like if I wanted to run Photoshop and Premiere Pro at the same time, I can definitely do that on this machine behind me, because it is a powerhouse. It has 16 gigs of RAM, a really good graphics card, and a really good processor. So this machine actually cost about it for the tower and everything in it. It actually costs less than this. So just remember that. But a laptop also has a screen, and it has a trackpad, and it has a keyboard already in it. So really, when you put everything together that is with my PC, it costs about the same as the MacBook. And I do anticipate this lasting a while, because Mac products, they tend to last a little bit longer than Windows laptops. I remember I had my laptop in undergrad, and I had to replace it like 3 times because there was always something wrong with it. I was just like, oh my gosh. On the first one, there was an issue with the way that the battery fit in. On the second one, there was an issue with the screen. And then finally, I stopped playing games and just got a Dell. And that one has worked pretty good for me so far. But of course, it's slowing down a whole lot. I've had it like 3, maybe going on 4 years now. And so it's really slow. It can still run games really well, but of course, like, that's the only thing you can run on it. And it's just really super slow. So I was in the market for a new laptop anyway, and with me getting into vet school, obviously I could get my dream laptop, which was a rose gold MacBook Air. And so I was really excited that Micro Center had it on sale. So moving into the inside of her, that sounds really gross and weird. Actually, I shouldn't have said that. You have the inside screen, which I believe is, I can't remember the exact resolution, but it is more than 1920 by 1080p. It's like 2660 by 1660 or something. So not quite 4K, but also a little bit better, a bump up than regular HD. So it has a backlit keyboard, of course, which is really important if you are, in the dark typing. As students, we always tend to study and type for some reason at night. So this was really good that it had a backlit keyboard, of course, and it has this really large trackpad here, which I really enjoy. I actually was having a hard time getting used to actually clicking on it, but it's a force touch trackpad, so you can click anywhere on the trackpad and it'll register. And it has all of the multiple finger gestures and everything that you would expect on a laptop. And something that is really a little bit new on these things is it has Touch ID. So this button right here on the upper right, it is actually the power button as well, but it also functions as Touch ID. So if I click her, you will see that it says Touch ID or enter password, and so I can just put my finger there and it unlocks. So that was really cool, I thought, because I really enjoy not having to type in a password. I probably already forgot my password to this computer. The screen is lovely. It is so high resolution. I love it. Of course, I still have the background that it comes with on there, but you know, it's a cool background. So coming from Windows to the Mac operating system is obviously a little bit of a shock, a little bit of an adjustment, but I've had this for, let's see, today's Sunday. I got her on Friday, today's Sunday, so I've had her for about 3 days, and I've already gotten used to a lot of things. You know, it's not too different from a PC. You pretty much, it's pretty user friendly. I'm already pretty familiar with it. I've just never had one for myself. So what else do I need to talk about? So I already mentioned the keyboard, how they went back to the regular keyboard that they had as opposed to the really thin kind of force touch keyboard that they had last year. I'm not sure if those were called butterfly keys, but these have actual switches inside, I believe. So I really like the way that this types, and I really love the way that it feels. It's really, really light. I will put the exact dimensions right here of just how light it is. But the thing that really attracted me about the MacBook Air as opposed to getting the MacBook Pro was that it was so light, and that it costs so much less than the MacBook Pro. I was talking to my friends who have the Pro, and they said that, you know, getting the Pro isn't really worth it unless you're doing like really heavy, intense programs that would actually need that extra power. But for a student, the MacBook Air is just fine, which is why it is so popular among students, because you can do pretty much anything that you would need to do on it. I really love it. I'll give you guys an update maybe in a couple of months or maybe in like a year, telling you guys how it held up. But MacBook products are usually pretty sturdy, that I hear. That is it for this video today, guys. Go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you liked it. Let me know if you're planning on getting a MacBook. I was never on the fence about getting a MacBook Air. I always wanted the Air. And then when they came out with the 2020 version that had the increased memory, that had the different keyboard, well, the old keyboard, and had the increased RAM and the better resolution on the screen, and it also cost less, it was like a no-brainer for me. I was like, oh yeah, that is definitely the MacBook that I want right there, and it's pink. Girl, sign me up. So go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you guys think, and if you want to see more videos of me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.